Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Carpetania campaign. Last time we conquered northward, reaching the Iberus River and securing for ourselves a nice new northern frontier in the middle of Tarraconensis. This is an excellent stopping point for northern expansion, as this river is an excellent choke point to hold. And even on the other side where the river ends, we've got this mountain territory here, which we control one of the passes through, essentially. So we're in really good shape to control the north. And although we do still have some existential threats, particularly Carthage, who does border us directly and doesn't particularly like me that much, although things are definitely getting better as our AE declines, I think that we are in really good shape to hold this territory for quite a long time until we're ready to push northward and secure territory up to the Pyrenees Mountains themselves and the northern border of the Tarraconensis region. But for now, at least, we are focusing on recovering from our medium-sized war of last episode, just letting our AE tick down and attending to some of our domestic matters. We are now over 51% centralization, which allowed us to switch one of our new, where am I going? One of my new laws here at the bureaucratic system. We grabbed tribal representatives for the additional monthly PI. And with over 50 centralization, we can now do codify state lands once the other things are met, including having enough PI, having all of my clan chiefs be 50 loyalty or above, and having the 40 civ level intellect, and that's the hard part to be sure. Now, just to quickly check and see how things are going, currently have 32.88 civ level with a current max of 46, so it's definitely getting up there. It's at a plus 0.08 per month tick, and I did some calculations before starting the recording. That gives us around 7-ish years at this current rate before we get to 40. We can speed this up a little bit by, let's see here, is there any way we actually can speed this up? We could by going for civilization effort. That might actually be a good thing to go for. We're going to lose out a fair bit on money because of our abandonment of the Bleed Them Dry. However, I actually don't think money is a resource I particularly need a lot more of at the moment. We got plenty of income as it is. I think we can get away with switching over to civilization effort. I probably could have done this earlier, to be honest, but I didn't really remember that this was an option for me, but I think I will go for it now. In fact, I think I will go for it right now, as I don't think I need to save my PI too badly at the moment. Let's go ahead and switch. This policy will increase the speed at which a province is civilized and slowly pacify any neighboring barbarian strongholds. Only infrastructure, cultural dissemination, and learning can bring enlightenment. Alright, so this will affect my economy a little bit, but it's not that bad. And ultimately, the boost to the civ level gain, yeah, plus 0.12 is a big boost up. In fact, it is a, let's see, it's a 50% boost up from plus 0.08, if I'm doing my math in my head right, which I rarely do, but let me know in the comments if my math on that was right. Either way, this is a pretty good improvement, and we should now be reaching 40 civ level much faster thanks to that. Alright, the other things we could do actually is we could actually build cities in here, but I don't think I need to for my mission tree. I did for my previous mission tree, or I had that option with the matter of Contestania, but oddly, Pearl of Contestania doesn't really require cities over here, at least not because one of these places is, when this province is not one of the provinces selected for the mission, for the way the mission is laid out here, because it's just randomly picking provinces like, oddly enough, the Balearities and whatnot. Speaking of which, we do have the infrastructure projects going on over here quite nicely. We got one more market queued up after this one, and then we got the fortress queued up after that. We're also building a fortress over here at our new capital up here in Dibolus, so that's pretty handy. Right, I think we are otherwise good to go. Let me just take a quick look and see how things are looking in the provinces. Any loyalty issues? Yeah, a few in a few spots. Contestania Septentrionalis, as usual, is having some trouble. Let's see here. What is the problem? How corrupt are we? Actually, that's me. So the corruption, not too much can be done about that, honestly. Let's see here. I could switch this, and I may want to. It's about to creep into disloyalty. I think I gotta take some actions here. This is gonna be one of those harder provinces to keep under control because it's wrong culture group and wrong religion. I think we're gonna have to pause on conversion and switch this over with a bit more PI. Probably to harsh treatment. I think, in my opinion, I'd rather go to harsh treatment and damage the province, but get back up into loyalty faster to then switch it back to a more long-term oriented policy like conversion or assimilation, as ultimately, although the happiness of these conquered pops will improve a little bit over time, they're never going to be easy to deal with until you assimilate them or you convert them, particularly when we're dealing with a wrong religion like the Iberics here. Excuse me, I'm allergic to excellent grand strategy gameplay. Switch over to harsh treatment. Plus 0.14, that's going to work. Let's see here, anywhere else that needs the harsh treatment touch. Carpetania is not in great shape here. Yeah, this probably needs a little bit of harsh treatment attention as well. This is actually pretty severe. How corrupt are you? 25 corruption? Holy moly. I guess he is crafty, and I think I did comment that that was the case. Man, let's see. Sanctions require... Oh, I can't impose sanctions on a crafty character. That's actually a pretty bad problem. Actually, hold on. This should be declining. It is declining, so he did something to get over 20 corruption, but even with just 20, it's still going to be a noticeable effect. He's fairly loyal, though. Do I have any reasonable alternatives? Another crafty character. 8 is quite a bit lower than 12, so that's... I don't know if that's worth it. I think it's mainly... Let's see... Are you demoting soon? No. Alright. I mean, my AE and my low stability are definitely big contributing factors right now, and those are going to get better. I can probably... 0.42 per month is too high to ride out. I gotta take measures here. This is just going to stabilize it as well, but has to be done. Minus 0.10 at 45 is manageable, and minus 0.42 at 64 is probably manageable. Also, I'm out of PI. We'll come back and see if this ends up needing to be attended to, but otherwise I think this all looks fine. In terms of... Yeah, simulation situation is not looking too good. The rest of this is... You know, Carpetania might be able to switch over to assimilation. Didn't have that many Iberics, but we may as well. Let's see. Carpetania is kind of split between the two religions. How many more Iberics are there still? What's the conversion rate? It's pretty quick. Yeah, we'll let it continue. We'll let it cook. All right, let's go up to speed 3, and I think resume. All right. Marketplace in Mago is done. Very nice. Now the fort has to finish. When the fort finishes, we can then do Mare Ibericum trade to get a bunch of tribesmen. Oh, Eti Tobias Madaganus died of a heart attack, head of the Marganii clan. Alright. We got ourselves the need for a new arbiter. Let's see here. Where is, as usual, whenever there's a scorned family, the highest quality character for my new office is terrible. 5 charisma. Yikes. Alright, where can we throw these people? Is that it? Just 2? Is that all of the available characters of that family? Oh, we got the wise one. I feel like there's more characters that should be available than this. Okay, this guy's actually pretty good. This kid, he's going to come of age pretty soon. How old is he exactly? 15. 1st of November. I guess I could technically wait until the 1st of November and then hire this guy because he's looking really promising. But you're also not terrible. Let's see. Is there anyone popping up in like the top couple? No. Alright, well I need to have a good arbiter. That part is non-negotiable. So I think I want to move Adoetus Carosus with his good statesmanship over there. Let's replace him with, let's see. Can I get away with reduced tribesman happiness? Probably I can a little bit. Let's see here. Where is... Alright, 5 charisma is not... Well, it's pretty bad. But it has to be done, at least temporarily. And then, where's my high statesmanship? Here she is. or here he is, rather. Adoedes Carosus, put him in there. Okay, good. I think this will be fine for now. And then let's remember in November of this year, remind me in the comments. I'm just kidding, it's gonna be too late for that. It'll already passed by, but November of this year, we're gonna find that youngster and give him an office. We gotta poach these kids once they come of age and they can become officers. I'm just the brain drain. Like I'm in this perpetual experience of having just a low charisma and like low finesse situation. Like it's whenever I need I always have low finesse, or I always have like not enough finesse characters. But now that I need charisma characters, it's like, oh, there's no good charisma characters from that family. So we gotta get it where we can get it, you know. Anyways, we are headed down this way to the Levis's multiplier modifier. Next up is Numantine Defense. A mix of the Duodio and the idea of self-rule have converged in the value of never surrendering to the enemy and fighting until the end. National fort infrastructure capacity, by the way, is going to do crazy things to our economy. At least in theory it would. Also, fort defense 50% isn't terrible. So let's see, we're at 12.54 at the moment. Let's grab this. All right. 12.54. Okay, we'll see if that increases a little bit, because I'm sure I've got over the fort capacity in a province or two here or there, but that's going to ultimately save me a lot of money on being over the fort capacity in many of my provinces. Alright, we're at our full manpower. 11 raisable levies there. Okay. 11.54, let's see. 11.7 or 12.77, I mean, not 11.54. Okay, that's good. Also, between episodes, I should let it keep playing. I did some research on how this mission objective works, and I finally figured it out. I literally wrote it on like a sticky note to make sense of it. So basically, even though this is kind of an indecipherable word salad of things to do, what it's actually saying is, number one, I need 200 gold per mine in the mining province. In this case, the mining province is, this one over here, Carpetania Meridionalis. So that's where we get 600 because there's 3 mineable tiles. So it's 200 gold per mine of the mining province. And then number two, the sort of mining capital. Oh, okay, this is not the one I was looking for, but that's still good. Number two is that the kind of mining capital of the province has to be the capital the provincial capital and a city. And the mining capital that this objective picked was Acre Luca, which is this one over here, which is oddly enough not a mining tile, but it's hills, it's wood. It's not really a location I would have picked as the capital spot. We need to make it the capital, at least for this mission. So that is required for the mission, which I don't like, but it at least now I understand how it works. It has to be a city as well, which is expensive. And then the province has to have, number one, either wood or olives, so one or the other. And then number two, it has to have a food resource, and it notes a couple different food resources there: grain, fish, and livestock and vegetables. And all mineral tiles have to have mines. So, everything I just told you is what this UI is meant to be communicating, but it's the least readable UI in the history of the universe. Does anyone know how this works? I had to go on the wiki. I had to crack open the code to read how it works in the code. So assuming that it is not glitchy, which as far as I can tell, I've not found reports that the vanilla version of this mission, so I'm playing Invictus, I've not found reports that the vanilla version is glitchy, but it's possible that Invictus has at least made the UI glitchy, or it may have been glitchy in the vanilla version. I don't really remember, but either way, at least I know how to do this mission, and it is worth doing. You get 9 slaves for free in 3 of those tiles. I think those are the 3 mine tiles, and it does progress the mission here. This one here just requires 400 gold, and then this allows us to get potentially even more mineral resources in that location. And if they find metals or minerals, that could include precious metals, a very valuable resource, and something that was historically found in Iberia quite a bit, pretty famously. But yeah, so that's basically how this mission works, so I will work on this mission in this episode. Granaries rated in Mastiania. Let's take a look and see what is Ostiania is, hold on, it's this one down here. I think it's worthwhile. 54 is a fair bit, but it's only a couple months of income with our current income, and this will give us additional loyalty. Let's see, yeah, because I'm the provincial governor, I can also do this one. I mean, oddly enough, the thing that I'm more concerned about is actually the PI and not the manpower, even though it's a lot of manpower. I think this, if I could, like, for example, like, this is basically picking between 54 gold or 10 PI and 2,000 manpower. I think the 54 gold is a better deal, including with my income in mind, right? Especially with my income in mind. So we'll just have to replace the stockpile ourselves. That's fine. All right. Now, something I've not really done in this campaign so far is very much slave micro. Let's grab more stability. Mainly because I just haven't really felt like I had enough money to do it justice. I really want to have like a couple hundred gold so that with vegetables I can do all the slave micro at the same time. I remember back from the, also hello, Massilian revolt situation. How's this going? It's hard to say, but Massilian revolt seems to be doing quite well. Carthage, I think, has kind of not had the most impressive game so far. Who are they fighting now? They're actually fighting the Massilian revolts. I'm not sure why that is. I guess the revolt has been around long enough that Carthage just declared a regular war on them, which is interesting. This is one way for Carthage to get Massilian territory is to fight their revolt. All right. Anyways, but back, especially, you know, I've been rewatching the Damaset campaign recently, and it's like the slave micro makes so much money when you do that min-maxing, but when you have to do it over like multiple kind of like attempts or like multiple rounds of the slave like moving around, because you don't have enough money to do it all at the same time, like remembering where you've done the slave micro, it takes up so much time. It like takes up an entire episode to just do that. And it's, even though it's really profitable, it's just really kind of like, you know, it's just me like staring like closely at, also I think totally forgot about that guy who's coming of age with the amazing, where is he? Where's the youngster? Well, not amazing, but he did pretty good, hold on. Literally, where is he? Oh, you know what? Hold on. This isn't the same character, but this is actually someone else. Well, okay, 6 charisma. Maybe I was overhyped up about that guy. But we should change this position to someone with better charisma from this family. So the Matagana family. Anyways, but yeah, I was rewatching, you know, the Namasak campaign, and it was like, I mean, this is technically better, so let's go and switch this out. Okay. And I just think that for the sort of flow of the campaign, especially because my like current approach that I do is the bi-weekly, twice a week releases, is because, you know, all of you are going to have to wait a couple days for the next episode every time. I kind of feel like I have a responsibility to have, you know, something going on in every episode, even if it's not a new war or something else like that, having something a bit more interesting and engaging than just like kind of like technical, you know, economic-oriented slave micro, which is important, and I know a lot of people who watch my content like that I'm so, like, technical and min-maxy, and that's a big part of my appeal compared to other Imperator Rome channels. But, you know, I am always thinking about, you know, is this content going to be, you know, interesting and engaging for an audience of people, not just for me, because I love the deep micro stuff. You know, I purposely play a game that is as complicated as Imperator Rome, and I make it more complicated by playing mods like Invictus, right? Or in my own mod that I'm making, Hegemony, right? It's more complicated than the base game, than the vanilla game, because that complexity is really interesting for me. It's really fun for me. So, yeah. Anyways, just some thoughts there. All right, this is probably, what's the issue over here? No corruption problems. It's just from pops, basically. We'll roll the dice on that. I'm going to save it my PI. Yeah, but I'm going to save up some money and do the slave micro in one big burst, maybe after I have, like, hundreds and hundreds of gold for one big go of it. But I can still build up the infrastructure preemptively, especially in Invictus. The settlement infrastructure is actually pretty good even without the local slave micro done, because the mines produce +1 base resource, farming settlements produce +1 base resource, and a lot of my kind of experience with mid and late game with this game was very much when playing Bronze Age, where the settlement balance for the settlement buildings is different, and those things were not as... What do we have here? What did we lose? Hold on. Oh, I was still trading for stone this whole time? Oh, shoot. Okay. Micro mistake. Well, I guess I'm glad that I noticed it now. Let's trade for dates again for the commerce. Yeah, no wonder that's going to improve my economy. 14.43, yeah, that's a pretty big improvement right there. Whoops. Throwing immediately. Now I need more marble. That's probably what it was. Can I reach marble that's not from people right next to me? All right, fine. I'll trade with Cantabria. I got the double marble. Actually, I don't really need double marble. I don't have any tyranny at the moment, which is kind of wild, but it's true. All right. I mean, the noble happiness for marble locally isn't terrible, but I think I could just trade for more gold for even more value. Oh, I can get double woad. I'm gonna get double woad. I can. Rome has woad somehow, and Aeduia has woad. All right, 8% tribes and happiness nationally is super strong as a tribe. Where is Rome getting woad? Probably from up here somewhere. Oh my gosh, Rome's all the way out here. All right, what's going on in the world, by the way? Antagonids and Antipatrids are splitting northern Greece. Okay. Okay. Parthia is growing very quickly. That's alarming. Alright, let's see here. Fort is about a year away, maybe 9 months away. Alright, Faith of Cassie Loudness, we've read this before. I will trade 18 gold for 6 stability. That's absolutely worth it. Stability is already nearly back up where it needs to be. Let's see here. This is definitely improving things. Okay. So this is going to require Acroluca having city status, which is going to require... Yes, this is going to really be a big roadblock for us. Acroluca as a city isn't like a terrible idea. I don't know if I would have made this a city otherwise. It's in kind of a weird spot. Although in fairness, I did comment before that having a city between Mastia and Hmedo Scopeon wouldn't be the worst idea. And Acroluca wouldn't be a terrible spot for it. Either it or Ilikia. Ilikia's plains is a little better. But since I'll be making Acroluca a city for the mission, I guess I could just keep it as a city, in all honesty. Actually, Iliki is a better distance from Ad Palem, but at some point I'll eventually dismantle my internal fort networks at least a little bit, because I'll have naval strength. While I don't have any navy at all, I absolutely need to have internal forts, because my external coastal forts will only last so long against a Carthaginian landing, which is, of course, the big thing that I'm really planning my defenses around, because that's going to be the real main villain of the campaign sooner or later. So, all right, well, to make this a city, it's going to be 250 and 62. Okay, well, we're working our way there. We're going to need some more stakeholder events. We're working on it. All right, a venomous tongue. The governor of Illyriconia is a particularly weasel-like woman, a fact that is making itself clear now more than ever. She has begun stirring up the people of her governorate, perhaps hoping to challenge our rule. Unfortunately, she is well regarded in this locale. Our response must be made with care. All right. Illyriconia is this one here. It's doing so well, also. Okay, so 38 would bring it down to, let's see, 49, 19, so that's not very good. I could switch this over and then have it build back up from 19. This is probably one of my least favorite events because I don't know what triggers it, but it's not corruption, which is a governor resource or like a governor characteristic that I do try to keep track of. This is not a corrupt governor. She's 59 loyalty. There's no reason why 59 loyalty should result in her doing this. If these sorts of events are weighted to be more likely when a character is disloyal, I understand that, right? But 59 loyalty should make her reliably loyal to the point that an event like this shouldn't really be happening, right? In terms of what it's implying about her. I'm trying to remember if this event has follow-ups if I don't imprison her right away. I mean, I'm going to lose the loyalty of the province anyways, right? 9 brings it down to 49. No, 48 and then 38. So it's still loyal, but it damages the loyalty quite a bit. And she gains a bunch of corruption. But she will lose it eventually. Alright, I'm just going to roll the dice on this one. Ugh, okay, I may need to switch this now. I'm getting nervous about this. That's still not fix it? Holy moly. Alright. Well, once her corruption goes down, that'll start to improve, but that's just nasty. Alright. I also ate some really spicy chicken tenders right before starting this recording, so apologies if I'm like sniffling and I seem kind of ill. It's because these chicken tenders were, or they weren't chicken tenders, they were like fried chicken, like with bones. I don't know, my chicken lingo is not up to par, sorry about that. I don't know the proper nomenclature. Alright. There's our fort over here. That's going to make me feel a bit better over here. Not that I expect Iler Kuomnia to even think of attacking me. That's just unlikely, but you never know. This is the Imperator Rome AI, after all. That's what I'm up to now. Rome is a giant feudatory and client state fleet. We'll see if they do anything against Carthage. Okay. Manpower max continues to grow. Very nice. What are we at now? 35? Alright, we are speeding our way to 40. Pretty good. No tyranny. Centralization rising. AE declining fairly quickly. Stability rising. Things are looking to be in good shape, in all honesty. I think this is all under control. I'm pretty happy with this. In fact, this may be able to switch. It's a lot of PI to kind of micro this stuff, but I may also let me keep it going. I mean, it's got more room to grow stability or to grow provincial loyalty. May as well give it that buffer, so that if there are some shenanigans, I can not be as freaked out. Okay. I want to improve relations with Carthage. Carthage is fighting a bunch of people. Who are they? What is this? Okay, they're fighting the revolts from Anubaya. Then they're also fighting the Celtica. Is this all that's left of Celtica? Oh my goodness! All right, they're fighting the Celtica Defensive League, I assume. All right, Kinetica, Tordulia. Oh, they're fighting Tordulia. But Tordulia also started to take Carthaginian stuff over here. They're fighting Campania and Bardulia. So they're fighting this defensive league over here, basically. I mean, Carthage is so far not showing off too well. I don't know where their army is, but it's not in the frontier. Are they still fighting the Massilian Revolt as well? I don't know if they are. I think they stopped fighting them. I can't tell if this was territory. I think Carthage may have taken some of this territory. Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure that Carthage took territory from the revolt, so they kind of shifted their attention over here. Carthage taking more land in Iberia is not great, but I don't know what I can really do about it. Let's see. With my full strength, I've got, 11 units, so that's, you know, a good strong army, but Carthage is more. But I could also bring in 2 merc companies. Let's see. How large can we get? 8K. I think 8K is generally the largest I've seen. 11K. Where's this guy? Oh, he's reachable. And it's a lot of infantry. Okay. How much is this gonna cost? 10 per month. Holy moly! All right, so we could spend 100 for that, and ooh, another 11K. 100 for these guys. That brings us down to around 100, and then we're running basically even, and then we're like maybe -5 to -10 per month. But we can probably get enough money from other sources to at least keep things more or less manageable for a little long. I mean, some sort of attack on Carthage when they're destroyed. I mean, I don't have a claim on them is the other problem, and I have military access with them. Also, all of their like clients join in as well. Although all their clients are presumably involved in the other war too, and these are not very like serious threats. Although these little city-states around Africa are actually, you know, they pack more of a punch than you may think. They got little like crowded, like tall populations. But they're probably just going to follow the Carthaginian army around. I mean, with no like fleet at all, this is a completely like wild idea. Like, we're talking, you know, invading Rome as Taulantia levels of like ambitious ideas that just don't feel particularly feasible or doable, and that decision in that campaign was a campaign defining, you know, step, arguably, well, misstep is probably the right way to put it. If Rome could just attack them too, I'd feel more comfortable. But I have no way to predict when the first Punic War is going to start. They will fight over Sicily. Man, I mean, the thing too is that if I were to fight Carthage, what would I be wanting to do here? Can I release? The issue is Carthage starts with a lot of this land, so I don't know if I can release land. And I mainly want them out of mainland Iberia. Like, that's my main goal. But I sort of don't know. The other problem is Carthage is so massive, and with all their subjects, even if I, you know, somehow joined this war or I started a war at the same time, and I was able to like control and like, you know, sack Orki, right? And I was able to come and sack Malacca, and I was able to come down here and sack Gadir, sack Karthi, right? And, you know, occupy this territory, assuming that these guys don't do that instead, right? Even if I could cross over the Pillars of Hercules and end up down here, right? You know, Carthage is so expansive, right? You know, all these actions would take a lot of time. I'd be hemorrhaging money the entire time with the mercs that I'd probably want to hire for a war like that. And the war score situation would just not, like, add up. Like, I wouldn't be able to get what I need. I think that, in all honesty, I have to think about it like, you know, like, think again, going back to the Damaset campaign, like, before in that campaign, again, I'm trying not to, like, just make, like, mention, like, spoilers of old campaigns, because I know people watch old campaigns, but, like, in that campaign, I didn't fight, like, Egypt until I was confident that I had naval supremacy. At least I recall vaguely. I remember there being, like, 3 wars against Egypt, and, like, the thing kept changing, and, like, the level of strength kept kind of changing each time, because I sapped them so severely. But that was a situation where, with the naval supremacy and the use of the Nile, I was able to pull something off really technical that the AI just didn't really know how to respond to, and, like, I did so much damage in that way. Against Carthage, right, like, most of their core is coastal, for sure, but they've got 23, is that it? Really? How much does Rome have? What? What? Where is their navy? Okay, well, they've got the naval strength of all their little goobers over here, so it does add up over time. They're probably in a death stack together. So let's see here. It's gonna be really tough to, like, find them all, but let's see. Yeah, like 6, 4. So, like, probably Carthage has, like, around 50 ships, maybe, with all their allies in tow. I mean, that's still... Let me look at the naval mercs. Keep in mind, but actually I've got 3 merc army slots now. I forgot I'm a major power. Maybe I... How fortified is this over here? Only level 1 fort. Sacking Carpetania would be like a wild little plan. Like, I don't know how in the universe I could pull that off, but I mean, that would really hurt Carthage if I sacked their capital. But then I would never be friendly with Carthage ever again. So it's like I have to pick my moment to attack them really precisely. I think that attacking them when they're fighting somebody else is the right moment, but this instance isn't the right one because they're going to have their armies in Iberia, which is where I am. I think what I'd want to do is attack them when Rome is attacking them, or they're attacking Rome. The other thing I'd probably want to do is, if possible, kick them out of the Mediterranean islands, but that's, I don't know. I don't know if I can pull that off. I think that attacking Carthage while they're in this war over here is really tempting, but I need to be a bit more conservative. I just don't think I just don't think this territory is like developed enough to support a war like that. I still am only working with my strong, but still more or less like starting population. Like I've assimilated a lot of the neighboring sort of Celt-Iberian cultures around my core to be Carpetanian, but I'm still working away at assimilation and conversion in most other places. So I think we're a ways away from being able to pull this off. It's very tempting, and I do believe I can outmaneuver the AI as long as I can get my like army over here and maybe have a local ally of some sort. But I just don't think I can pull it off right now. So let's be realistic here. It'd be an interesting idea, but I need to focus on, solidifying my situation first and foremost. Okay, so let's finally go ahead and grab Mare Hebeticum trade for the 6 free tribesmen. Maritime trade has been the livelihood of the people of the Balearides for generations. With the right encouragement, we could make this grow into a wealthy urban area. And we can now grab port markets immediately, giving Balearides regional entrepot +1 local import routes. By expanding the commercial districts in Balearides, we can greatly expand its role, okay, as a major center for overseas trade. All right, and should now be able to import. Actually, has 2 import slots available. I did not even realize that. Whoops. All right, what do we want over here? Probably just 2 copies of precious metals for extra money. I think we can get away with that. Let's trade with these guys, I suppose. All right, that's pretty good. And then, let's see here. Now that we've done this, this requires Balearides to import wood and for Poyentia to have a foundry. Poyentia is a settlement and a foundry is a city buildings. That's not going to be happening without a lot of expense. And then this one gives us 5 heavy ships for 300, which is a good trade-off. But the real cost is the city PI cost of the shipyards of Poyentia. So I'm going to probably ignore these 2 here. Right, so we still need to do the other things here. Let's see. This just requires spending a bunch of money on buildings. This is probably the next one to focus on, I think. So we need to, let's see, what do we even have here? Does fish count for that? Yes, okay, so assuming that my research was right, which it may not have been, assuming that this little sticky note is correct about what I need, we've got the food resource, so that part's checked off. And then we need wood or olives, which we'll probably have to import over here. No, we've got wood. Okay, hold on. We have got wood. So we got those 2 resource objectives complete. We need 600 gold. Okay, well, we can get that just by waiting. And then we need all mineral tiles mined, which I think we did already because of the mission beforehand. Fairly sure. I think so, yeah. And then it's just Aquiluca needs to be the capital and be a city. And then we need the gold. So it's just a matter of, let's see here, 64. It's also a slight negative trend. Okay, this is 30 loyalties, so it's 34. That's near disloyalty, but not quite there. We're bringing it to 34. And then maybe we just cross our fingers that we manage to get away with not having to switch this. This is so painful, but it has to be done. Things I do for the Imperator Rome mission tree. We're at least at the very upper edge of 34.99. We got ourselves a while before we go to 33. Okay, and then to make this a city, the main cost is the political influence, so 62 for that. Okay, we got ourselves a plan for that. And I want to get the city going, because I'll get the money to build the farms up here while the city's under construction, so no worries about that. 1st of January, 485, very good. Let's go ahead and grab Beit-Yisama once again for the pop simulation speed. Alright. Okay, we're up to 58% religious unity. We are now at least in the majority of our own country religiously, so that's handy. Other than that, I cannot do... Yeah, this is not a war council year. Let's see. 57%, almost 58% centralization. Okay, we need to keep an eye on Toletum. Okay, 36, so we are on the way there, plus 0.12 every month. I think that is the best we can do. Let's go ahead and do a quick check on all of our provinces here. I think we can probably get away with this. We got Divine Sacrifices going, 8 units declining, that's going to help for sure. Negative trend, minus 0.03. It's a bit more severe, but I think we can ride this out for a bit longer. Yeah, I think this all looks good the way that it is. Alright, let's go ahead and proceed. Also going to cancel Carthage's military access just so we don't have that lingering in case a wild opportunity shows up. I should also probably have a claim on them ready to go, but... Oh, here we go. What... Is this it? Is this all the PI I'm going to get from Scholar of the Divine? I recall getting a bit more than this before. 10 corruption for 12 PI is not worth it. 5 loyalty on this guy for 6 PI is worth it, but this is normally much more than this. Is it because of this guy's low zeal? Is it literally scaled to this guy? Which is really funny if that's true. Or slap on the wrist. Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. I'll still take a weak PI event than a no PI event. You know, I'll just have to live with that. By the way, I like we got the tribal fort, we got the like the Nurgic fort, and then we got the Carthaginian fort. Like we have all the different kinds of forts over here. Arbitrary demands from our arbiter. I remember that this is actually a good event to lose money. We get funded arbiter for 5 years, which is a crazy bonus, and we get PI. So we're gonna go for that. We're actually almost able to build a city now, which is great, and I will do so. I guess after the monthly tick, if it does round up correctly. Look at that, turning things around right before it becomes disloyal as well. Alright, found a city in Acraluca. Let's hope that this doesn't move it away from here. Alright. Acraluca being a permanent city is also fine. Not an amazing spot, but it is the right distance from Mastia. And it's not the end of the world. I'll decide if I want to keep that city or not. But I think I've been, especially because I do plan to have like a tall, you know, Iberia that is a very like just focused on being like one contiguous, very like developed area. Having more cities than I need is not a problem. Definitely not. Also, Acraluca as a wood tile wouldn't have been like an amazing, like it's not like a gold tile or something where there's a really strong argument for keeping it as a settlement. It's just about thinking in terms of opportunity cost of, is this something that I would have really wanted to, you know, not be a city or to be a city or whatever. All right, this This Carthaginian invasion is not going very well. This is all occupied by Turdulia still. Carthage is just not impressing so far. Yeah. All right. 36. And then, how much will the farms be done for harvest? I will take 3 stability is probably a better deal. It's very tempting to take the money to speed up my farm construction. But this amount of money is a little over a year worth of money. 3 stability is like, it's like 100 years with my current stability trend, right? Let's see. In fact, I think it might be 30. No. Yeah, it might literally be like 30 years. So let's take the stability. It's going to improve everything across the board. Very necessary. Okay. This is good. Slowly working away at it. We are number 9 in the world. That's pretty good. Which means we're above Carthage, interestingly enough. These guys ended the war. Okay, they, I don't know exactly what kind of peace deal was achieved here, but they... Oh, I can do the tribal reform mission. So I may as well click this now to add it to the mission pool. I mean, obviously I'm still doing Pearl of Carpetania, and I do want to continue down that mission. I've invested so much into it, but I may as well add this to the mission pool. It is time for people to consider new methods of rule. For an ideals fled our country, can we truly remain a nomadic people? All right, very nice. So once we finish this mission or abort it, we will then be able to go ahead and do, let's see here. So, sorry, I'm trying to figure out why this spot is being picked by that mission anyways, but once we finish Pearl of Carpetania, then we will start reforming into a monarchy, as has been discussed throughout the campaign. Alright, how is Toletum looking? 37.13, it is slowly getting there. Making good progress. Tech is looking solid, 6.1. Once we ascend to a monarchy, that's going to improve our tech rate nicely. Centralization. Okay. Just waiting for the Punic War to get going. It's gonna 14. We got 1 in Terraconnessus now as well. That's excellent. It's a very, very strong levy for 35 years into the game. I will take that. Alright, probably, yeah. We have a huge manpower max as well. Very good. Alright, I can probably start trading in stone and doing some buildings. Let me wait for the monthly tick, then I'll do that. Alright, and then up here, let's see, I will need these over here. This one already has a farm. let's go ahead and just start. Let's see, 139 with stone. Okay, that's good to know. Cancel the stone and get the fruit again. Well, I don't actually need the fruit right now that badly. Could go for something else. Let's see. I mean, of all the options that I've got, arguably fish for freeman happiness wouldn't be terrible. Let's see. Olives for slave happiness would probably help my provincial... oh my gosh, just knocked my thing. Would probably help my provincial loyalty problems a little bit. I mean, fruit is more valuable, and also local tax locally isn't terrible either. Let's try to get away with going for olives instead. Let's trade with Rome instead of Carthage. Alright. This is now neutral, that's good. Okay. Waiting to see what happens over there. It's going to affect my planning here. But we are recovering things quite nicely. Alright, hauled in front of the clan council. Tinkomatus Tutamalis is a sorry sight. Caught with jagged rock in hand, he is said to have been ready to strike down Bodwognatus Tutamalis in a brutal act of violence. Luckily, passers-by were quick enough to act and prevent this terrible deed. We now have the unenviable task of passing judgment on the wicked Tinkomatus. This is my clan chief. Okay, he's very, very loyal. So I don't really want to do anything too funny here. This is fine. The other clan chiefs don't like this, but I don't really want to mess around with clan chief imprisonment. It seems like a bad idea to get tangled up in that without a plan. Good money coming in. Let's remember we need to have 600 gold for this as well, so we'll need to spend our money on these farms, then also save up to 600 gold, which is a little wild. Whew, man. We shall see. I think that while the idea of attacking Carthage in some sort of out-of-nowhere invasion is definitely exciting, it seems like it would be an all-or-nothing thing, right? Because if I can't effectively damage Carthage so badly that I'm safe from a retaliatory attack, then it's not really kind of worth it, you know? Because Carthage could then just come back. And keep in mind that Carthage, even if they don't like attack me, they're less likely to trade with me. Although, in fairness, in this game, trade tends to be available even to, you know, big opponents. Breakthrough from Commodicus Tutamalis. One more innovation, that's excellent. Okay, let's see here, what do I want? I grabbed Town Criers already. I could grab Census Data now to get a big boost for Toletum. Let's see, I don't think I need that at the moment. I think I want to head towards granted hypocost, I mean, so let's grab Right to be Heard. Acknowledging the right for our nobles to make their argument before the authorities will vastly increase their tendency to work within the system and not without. Perfect. We are on our way. 6.4, good. This is actually looking very, very solid across the board. This can probably be switched back as well. What about these ones? Plus 15, nope. This one's not. This one, though, it can be. Alright. Just about. Perfect. Confluenta, Celtiberia land. A dispute between the clans of Rosula Margana and Carsona Wodonessa has arisen as both of them want certain valuable lands in Confluenta, Celtiberia. Both sides have their claims to the area, and supporting one of them over the other could end up with disloyalty from the spurned clan. Both of the clan chiefs have offered to support the nation with gifts if they are given the region. Rosula Margana has offered us more troops, while Carsona Wodonessa has offered a donation of gold. Let's see. This does give more loyalty to the less loyal character. 100 gold right now is not the worst thing. The actual modifier for the tile is not a huge deal either way. Let's go for the gold. And with that, switch over from dates, here it is, to stone. And then build another farm up here. Very good. All right. What do we lose? Dates. There we go. You know what? I can do sacrifice. I probably should do this once I get to 50 PI. We'll wait for that. Stabilizer stability, important. Sorry I'm being so quiet, I'm just contemplating my next moves here. Almost there, 1st of April of next year. I'll have that city finished. Then we just need 600 gold. It's easier said than done. We can build up to it eventually if we just wait around, but then we're kind of paralyzed from doing anything. Lots to consider. These guys are fighting. Oh, Carthage is fighting Massilia. I was about to say I thought Rome was fighting them. I was confused by that. Very strange. Let's let him look in. 39. We're almost there. Only about one more year. In fact, literally only exactly one more year. And we're going to have enough. Alright, perfect. Only 100 PI for that. Oh my goodness. And then, actually that's all we'll need at this point, once we have enough civ level there. Okay. Good stuff. Very soon. The coming of the city of Acre Lucca. Okay, perfect. This appears to all be good. Now we just need the gold. We can, speaking of gold, grab some stone. And then put a farm over here. Grab the dates. 15 units in the levy, that's pretty strong. Okay. I mean, this has been a successful recovery episode so far. Our AE is declining nicely. Stability is relatively... Massilia killed off most of their revolt, or seized most of the territory back. How does Massilia feel about Carthage? They probably don't like them too much. We could ally with Massilia. Now there's an interesting idea. What if I allied with Massilia and actually attacked Carthage by land through Massilian territory? Can I do something like that? I mean, Carthage is going to have a strong land army. Right? They got 501 Punics at minimum. That's assuming they haven't integrated the Massilians, which if they were smart, they will have. That's another way to go about doing this, is I actually attack Carthage from an unexpected direction. I'll have to think about that. I will have to think about that. But you know what, I think this is a good stopping point for this episode. So, thank you all so much for watching. Sorry this was a slightly more laid-back, quiet episode, but we are building up our economy in a big way, and this kind of build-up, this kind of investment will be necessary to be in the same league, the same kind of category as these big, great powers like Carthage and Rome, who I am sharing this Mediterranean with. I have to be really, really careful about my moves with these superpowers in mind. But lots to think about, lots of planning and contemplation to do about where we can go from here. I've given myself a lot of options to work with, and we're already thinking about, you know, the broader world and not about the other people on this peninsula with me. So I'm already kind of eclipsing the other Iberian tribes in terms of my mindset, which I probably shouldn't do. I should focus on consolidating this peninsula first and foremost, but that will eventually involve fighting Carthage either way. So either way, lots to think about. That's going to be it for this episode of the Carpetania campaign. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.